You've been taught to be good, to be fair, to be moral. And that teaching, well, it's a lie. It's a lie designed to keep you manageable. Machiavelli wrote this 500 years ago, and it's probably the single most important truth you will ever hear about how the world actually works. Believing that people are fundamentally good isn't a virtue. It's a luxury you just can't afford. It's a vulnerability. And for some people, it's a weakness they are absolutely looking to exploit. This is Unspoken Rules, the place where we expose the psychological truths nobody teaches you. See, we're all told to play by one set of rules. You know the ones: cooperation, kindness, teamwork. But there's another set of rules operating just beneath the surface. We live in the world of polite fiction. That's the public story we all agree to tell. But the real world, the one that actually dictates your success or failure, that one runs on raw power and pure self-interest. Now, in this world, there are what we call operators. These are the people who see this system for what it really is. They're often called high-Machs, and that's short for high Machiavellianism. And let's be clear, this isn't about being evil. It's about running a completely different mental software, a strategic, cold, and calculating way of looking at every human interaction. So, in psychology, Machiavellianism is part of what's known as the dark triad, right alongside narcissism and psychopathy. But here's what makes it different. Unlike the others, Machiavellianism is defined by its cool, clinical rationality. It's a mindset that puts results above everything else, especially morality. It's the sober, chilling understanding that the ends, if they're important enough, justify the means. So here's the fundamental split. The operating system of the average person, it runs on this illusion of altruism and goodwill. But the Machiavellian operator, their system runs on the stark reality of human nature. You know, Machiavelli himself said that people are so dominated by their immediate needs that a deceitful person will always find someone who's ready to be deceived. The psychological engine behind this whole mindset is something called the cool syndrome. And what it is the ability to just detach, to switch off emotion and view every single relationship as a transaction. Other people, they stop being friends or colleagues. They become assets or they become obstacles on the path to what really matters: money, power, and status. High-Mach absolutely thrive in chaos. Think about it. Corporate shakeups, new startups, any place where the rules are blurry and unwritten, that's their playground. They look at cooperative people not as peers, but as dupes to be manipulated. Persuasion and flattery aren't genuine. They're instruments. They're tools. And yeah, they'll deceive you, but only after making a cold, hard calculation. Do the benefits of this lie outweigh the cost of getting caught? Now let's get into one of Machiavelli's most powerful metaphors. He said a leader has to be two animals. The thing is, most people only get the obvious one: brute force. And that, right there, is a rookie mistake. The lion, it represents overt power. It's strong, it's courageous, it drives off predators with pure aggressive force. It's what we usually think leadership looks like. But the fox is totally different. The fox is all about cunning, deception, and the ability to spot traps that others have laid. See, the lion is defenseless against snares, and the fox is defenseless against wolves. A true operator has to be both. Now, I want you to think about your world, the modern office, that corporate ladder you're trying to climb. Social media, is that a battlefield for lions, or is it a minefield of snares? In a world where direct conflict gets you punished, where passive aggression is the weapon of choice, the lion's roar just gets you a meeting with HR. The fox's cunning, though, that gets you promoted. It's simple, really. Your courage and your strength mean absolutely nothing when your rival never even confronts you directly. You can't fight a shadow. You can't punch a rumor. And this is the exact environment where the fox reigns supreme. This right here is the modern Machiavellian's toolbox, spreading a nasty rumor to make a competitor look bad, forgetting to share that crucial piece of information with a colleague right before a huge presentation, subtly undermining a project from the inside just so that your rescue at the last minute looks heroic. These aren't the acts of a lion. These are the calculated, deniable moves of a fox. Okay, so to really understand how these operators get ahead, you have to get the two currencies they're always trading in. Most people mix them up, but a high-Mach? Never. The two currencies are power and status. Power is cold. It's objective. It is, quite simply, control. Control over the budget, control over who gets hired and fired, control over information, control over who gets access to the important people. You don't earn power, you possess it. It's the ability to force other people to do what you want because they depend on the resources you control. Status, on the other hand, is a complete opposite. It's 100% social. It's the respect, the admiration, and the deference that you are given voluntarily by other people. You can't force it. It's granted to you based on who people perceive you to be, your competence, your charisma, your value to the group. This matrix shows you exactly why that distinction is so critical. The ideal spot, obviously, is high power and high status. You've got control and you're respected. This is where effective leadership lives. Now, if you have low power but high status, you're a respected advisor, an influencer who doesn't have formal authority. Low on both, you're basically irrelevant. But the most toxic, the most explosive quadrant of all is the danger zone, high power and low status. This is that micromanaging boss nobody on the team respects. This is the department head who got the job because of who they know, not what they know. This combination is a psychological powder keg. Because they lack the validation that comes from status, these people use their power to demean others, to create conflict, desperately trying to force the respect they were never able to earn. It is, without a doubt, the most unstable and destructive position you can find in any hierarchy. But why? I mean, why are our social worlds built on these complex, often brutal dynamics? The answer isn't in sociology, it's deep in our evolution. Your brain didn't get this big to throw a spear. It got this big to play the game. Seriously? Think about it. For an early human, what was the single greatest threat to their survival? It wasn't a saber-toothed tiger. It was the other humans. The competition for resources, for mates, for status within your own group, that was the most complex adaptive challenge we have ever faced. And this is the answer scientists came up with, the Machiavellian intelligence hypothesis. It suggests that our massive intellect is, at its core, a social weapon, one that was forged in the fires of group politics. Our most advanced cognitive skills didn't evolve to build tools, but to manage incredibly complex social relationships. To cooperate, sure, but also to manipulate, to form alliances, to deceive our rivals, and maybe most importantly, to detect deception in others. This created a cognitive arms race. As some individuals got better at manipulating, they gained a survival advantage. Well, that put incredible evolutionary pressure on everyone else to get better at spotting manipulation. And in response, the manipulators had to become even more subtle, even more sophisticated. This feedback loop, this constant one-upmanship, is what likely drove the explosive growth of the human brain. We are literally hardwired for this game. Which brings us to you. Right here, right now. After seeing all of this, you're at a crossroads. The code has been revealed. The patterns behind all the polite fictions have been exposed. And the thing is, you can't go back to not knowing. You're going to start seeing the fox's moves in every meeting. You're going to recognize the power status game being played by your managers. You're going to finally understand the unspoken rules that are actually governing your life. The question is no longer what is happening. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Will you continue to be a pawn, living unconsciously at the mercy of operators who understand the game better than you do? Or will you join the aware and start seeing reality for what it truly is? Subscribe to Unspoken Rules and turn on notifications because it's time to open your eyes. Like this explainer if it woke you up. And comment below, what's the most Machiavellian move you've ever witnessed?